The Power of Focus, a life lesson from archery. In a peaceful village nestled between the valleys, lived a young archer named Rohan. He had all the makings of a great marksman: strong arms, quick reflexes, and the finest bow that money could buy. But despite his talent and resources, Rohan struggled to hit his targets consistently. He would line up his shot, pull back his bowstring, and let his arrow fly, but more often than not, it missed the bullseye. Sometimes his arrows veered wildly off course. Other times they landed just outside the center. Frustration built up inside him, and no matter how much he practiced, his aim didn't improve. Rohan felt defeated. He watched others with less skill and cheaper equipment hit the mark with ease. What was he doing wrong? Desperate to improve, Rohan sought out an old mentor, an archer who had once been renowned for his accuracy. The mentor, an elderly man named Suraj, lived on the outskirts of the village in a humble hut surrounded by tall trees. Though Suraj hadn't practiced archery in years, his reputation as a master still lingered, and Rohan hoped that he might provide the secret to success. When Rohan arrived at the mentor's home, Suraj welcomed him kindly. After listening to Rohan's struggles, he asked the young archer to demonstrate his skills. Rohan eagerly complied, setting up his bow and aiming at a target a few paces away. He pulled back the string, focused as hard as he could, and released the arrow. It flew toward the target, but missed the center by several inches. The mentor watched in silence and then said, "You're making the same mistake many do. Your hands are steady, your equipment is flawless, but you are not truly focusing." Confused, Rohan responded, "But I am focusing. I'm aiming directly at the target. I'm thinking about nothing else." Suraj smiled softly. "You are aiming at the target, yes, but that's the problem. You are too fixated on where the arrow needs to go and not focused on how you are sending it." Focus is not just about locking your eyes on the bullseye. It's about being fully present in each moment, understanding your breath, feeling the tension in the string, and becoming aware of your body's movement. Rohan was puzzled but intrigued. Suraj continued, "Before you worry about where the arrow will land, you must first master yourself. Focus is about concentration, but more than that, it's about balance, calming the mind, eliminating distractions, and immersing yourself completely in the process." The mentor then offered Rohan a lesson. "I will teach you how to shoot without aiming at the target. Only when you stop obsessing over the result will you truly learn to focus." For the next several days, Suraj trained Rohan in techniques that had nothing to do with aiming. He taught him to practice slow, deep breathing before each shot. He instructed him to close his eyes and visualize the flight of the arrow without worrying about the target. Suraj encouraged Rohan to feel the bow's weight in his hands, notice the tension in his muscles, and become mindful of every sensation, from the pull of the string to the release of the arrow. At first, Rohan felt foolish. He wasn't aiming at anything, and many of his arrows flew wide. But as the days passed, something remarkable happened. Without overthinking his movements, Rohan's shots began to improve. He was no longer worried about hitting the bullseye. Instead, he focused entirely on the process, his posture, his breathing, and his rhythm. Soon, his arrows started landing closer and closer to the center, until one day, he hit the bullseye without even realizing it. Suraj smiled and said, "Now you understand. The key to focus is not in trying harder, but in letting go of unnecessary distractions. By mastering yourself, you have mastered the art of concentration." In today's world, distractions are everywhere. We are constantly pulled in multiple directions by our jobs, responsibilities, social media, and the demands of everyday life. Just like Rohan, we often focus too much on the end result, whether it's success, productivity, or achieving a specific goal, and in doing so, we lose sight of the present moment. Focus is not simply about zeroing in on the goal. It's about engaging fully with the process that leads to that goal. In Rohan's case, the target was always there, but it was only when he stopped fixating on the bullseye and started focusing on his movements, his breath, and his awareness that he found success. In our own lives, we can cultivate this kind of focus in several ways. 1. Eliminate distractions. In order to concentrate, it's essential to create an environment that minimizes interruptions. Whether you're working on a project, studying, or simply trying to complete a task, turn off distractions like unnecessary notifications on your phone or social media alerts. Set aside time in your schedule where you can focus without being pulled in different directions. 2. Focus on one task at a time. Multitasking can seem productive, but it often divides our attention, making us less effective overall. Instead, give each task your full attention. Whether it's a work assignment, a conversation, or even a hobby, immerse yourself in that moment. When you finish, move on to the next task with a clear mind. 3. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for sharpening your focus. It teaches you to be fully present in the moment, helping to quiet the mental noise that can distract you. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or simply paying attention to the sensations around you can help center your mind. 4. Manage your energy. Focus requires mental energy, and overworking yourself can lead to burnout. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method to break work into manageable intervals, followed by short breaks. These breaks help you maintain high levels of concentration without exhausting yourself. 5. Trust the process. Just as Rohan learned not to obsess over the target, it's important not to fixate too much on the final outcome. Focus instead on each step along the way. When you commit to the process, whether it's learning a new skill, working toward a goal, or solving a problem, the results will come naturally. In the end, focus is not a one-time achievement but a lifelong practice. The more you train your mind to concentrate on the present, the more you'll see improvements in all areas of your life. Just as Rohan's arrows began to hit the bullseye without him trying so hard, your own goals will come within reach when you learn to focus fully on the process. Remember, the path to success is not in obsessing over the outcome, but in mastering the moment. By strengthening your ability to focus, you empower yourself to achieve far more than you ever imagined.